Hello, kindergarten and first grade. It's Miss Sublett. And if you don't know me, then I'm so happy to meet you. Um, I am your school counselor, and I am here today to talk about a very, very important topic, and that is bullying. Raise your hand if you have ever heard of the word bully. I think almost every first grader should have. And if you haven't and you're a kindergartner, don't worry because we're going to learn all about it today. Bullying is something that is a bad thing. Okay. And here at Houstonville Elementary, we try to make sure that there is no bullying in our school. So we are going to do a little presentation all about bullying. Okay, so first, let's talk about what exactly is bullying. So, bullying is when someone keeps on being mean to someone else. Okay, now there's a difference in being mean one time because it was a poor choice, or maybe you're arguing with somebody, or maybe you're having a disagreement. Those are different from bullying. Bullying is something that happens over and over again. Okay? So let's continue to talk about the types of bullying that happen at our school. So there is something called verbal bullying. That means you use mean words to bully people over and over. Okay? Now, sometimes we make a mistake, we make a poor choice, and we say something hateful one time. That is not bullying. That was a poor choice. Okay? Now, there's another thing called social bullying. That is when somebody says, I don't want to play with you, and neither does anybody else in our class. And they say that over and over again. Maybe they say, you can't come to my house. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to play with you. And they say that over and over again. Okay? Now, if you don't want someone to play with you one day, that was a poor choice, and we're not including in making people feel good. Okay? But if you're doing it every day, then you might be a bully. Okay? And then the last kind of bully we'll talk about is physical bullying. That means that you're hurting someone's body over and over again. Okay? Maybe you pull hair, or you slap, or you kick, or you punch. That is being a bully if you're doing it to the same person over and over. Okay? You can also harm somebody's things, like their book bag, or maybe you're breaking their pencils or their crayons over and over. That can be called bullying. Okay? So, how does bullying hurt people? Well, bullying can make someone feel very sad. Okay, maybe they cry, or they don't want to hang out with people anymore. Okay, it can really hurt their feelings, and it could make them not want to come to school. And here at Houstonville, we want everyone to feel happy to be here and safe to be here. And if somebody is being bullied, then they don't feel safe and they don't feel happy. Okay? So, we're going to talk a little bit about why people, or we're going to talk a little bit about the three R's of bullying, okay? And I have a friend here that you all know very well because my kindergartners got to meet him at kindergarten camp, and my first graders know him from last year. Oh, hello, kids. It's me, Harvey. This is my favorite subject because I hate bullying. Bullying is the worst kind of friend there can be. Bullying is bad. We don't bully at our school. Well, Harvey, I'm so happy that you got to come and talk with our students today. Can you tell them a little bit about the 3 R's of bullying? Oh, yes, Miss Sublet. There are 3 R's of bullying. That's one rough, two rough, three rough. And they are recognize. We're going to recognize that it's happening. The second one is report. We have to report the bullying to an adult if we see it happening. And then the third one is refuse. Ruff, ruff. We can't let bullying go on at our school, Miss Sublet. We have to refuse to let it happen. That's so smart. Did you come up with that yourself? Ruff, ruff. I sure did, Miss Sublet. Well, that's very good, Harvey. Should I tell them a little bit more about the 3 R's before we move on? Ruff, ruff. I think that's a great idea, Miss Sublet. All right, Harvey. Well, thank you so much for your help. Will you come back and say bye to us at the end of the video? Ruff, ruff. I sure will, Miss Sublet. All right. Say bye, Harvey. Bye, kids. Well, I'm so happy that Harvey got to see you all again and that you got to see him. He loves you all so much. All right, so let's go into a little bit more detail about the 3 R's. Okay, here's our poster that you will see all over the school. This is to help stop bullying with the 3 R's. You will see this in the cafeteria, in the hallway, just as a reminder that this is how to stop bullying. So the first one is recognize. We're going to recognize that we can tell that that is definitely bullying. We're going to report. Make sure to tell an adult. And then we're going to refuse. We're going to stop bullying from happening. So first, let's go into detail about recognize. We have to be able to tell that that's bullying. So we're going to understand what bullying is and what bullying is not. So if it's a behavior that is happening over and over again, so somebody keeps making fun of you, somebody keeps hurting your body, somebody keeps breaking your crowns or hurting your property. Somebody keeps calling you a bad name. Okay, that is bullying. Okay. And then the second thing we can tell it's bullying because maybe the kid is bigger. Maybe the bully that you think is bullying is older. Maybe they are more popular or they're cooler or they have nicer things, okay? And then the last thing is you can tell it's bullying when the person being bullied is upset. Okay, so as kindergartners and as we learn in our second steps, we're going to learn how to read people's faces and we're going to understand how people are feeling by how they look on the outside. So if someone is crying, like this boy here in the picture, we can tell he's upset. So you can tell it's bullying if it's happening over and over and if the person looks upset, if they are crying or they're slunched over or their eyebrows are down, you can tell that they are upset. So first we recognize that it is bullying and I need to do something about it. And then if we decide, yeah, that does look like bullying to me, we have to decide who are we going to tell. We're going to tell a trusted adult, somebody here at the school that you have a connection with, possibly me, your school counselor, maybe a principal like Mr. Ledford or Miss Lynn, maybe our school nurse, Miss Chastity, or your teacher. okay? But we have to find somebody that's going to help us that we can tell, hey, that kid over there is bullying somebody, okay? So we have to know when to tell and when to share. And then we have refuse. So this is my favorite one because I kind of came up with a refusal signal, but I want you all to come up with one too. So we're going to refuse. We're going to stop it. We're going to make sure it never happens again. We're going to refuse by not laughing, because if you're laughing along with the person that's bullying, then you're being a bully too, okay? We're not going to think to ourselves, somebody else will stop it. Somebody else will do that. That's not none of my business. I'm not going to do nothing. We have to report, okay? It's our duty to have a wonderful school to let somebody know and report, okay? And then we're going to come up with a refusal signal, okay? So Miss Sublett came up with one already, but you and your teachers can come up with anything that you want to. But my refusal signal is this. A paw. I think this kind of looks like our paw over here on the side. Do you see that little paw over there? I think this kind of looks like a paw, and I think not a fist. Somebody might take that the wrong way, but a paw. So if you see bullying happening and you don't know what to say or do, you can always refuse by just showing them your bullying signal that you and your class comes up with, okay? It could be the paw, it could be anything that your class wants to do as a signal, okay? But this, do a signal, go up to them and go like this. That way they know, hey, she thinks I'm bullying this person. I better stop, okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit about this. It's kind of hard to understand, but it's called a bystander. Okay. A bystander is somebody who's on the sidelines. They're watching the bullying happen, or they're watching a crime. Maybe someone's robbing a bank. Well, hopefully nobody's robbing anything here at Houstonville, but maybe that you see a crime happen or a car accident or something like that, and you're just on the sidelines. You didn't have nothing to do with it. You're just standing back watching. That's called a bystander. And if you see bullying happen and you're on the sidelines, that means you're a bystander. And look at this word. That means you have power because you're seeing it happen. You have the power to stop it. Okay? And you have the power to make real change happen in our school if you don't allow it. So we want to make sure here at Houstonville that we're all working together to stop bullying, and we want to create a school where everyone feels safe. Everyone feels happy here at school. We want everyone to. And if you're not happy at school, then you need to tell Miss Sublett, because that's what I do. My whole job is to make sure you all are good and happy and that you feel safe, okay? So keep that in mind the rest of the school year, and Harvey will be very happy that you are making sure bullying doesn't happen at our school. Ain't that right, Harvey? Oh, yes, Miss Sublett. I hate bullying and I don't like bullies. But sometimes kids don't know that they're bullying, Harvey. What do we do in that case? Well, if they think maybe they're a bully, Miss Sublett, and they don't know what to do, they should come and talk to you. Very good, Harvey. Harvey's so smart. Harvey's been here for exactly the same amount of time as me. Almost 5 years. So Harvey knows his stuff, don't you, Harvey? Oh, yes, Miss Sublett, you have taught me a lot. So Harvey is kind of an expert, okay? And he says that you should recognize when bullying's happening, you should report it to an adult when you see it happening, and you should refuse to let it happen. Ain't that right, Harvey? Oh, yes, Miss Sublett, that's right. All right, give me a paw, Harvey. Ruff, ruff. Good job. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Make sure you're reporting bullying and then help our school to be a bully free zone, okay?